Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's a fantastic day to dive deep into the latest Genoa City drama, and boy, do we have a massive situation brewing. Let's get right into the madness. I cannot believe they are actually going there with this. Like, my jaw is literally on the floor right now. I am typing this at 2 a.m. because my brain will not shut off after watching what is unfolding with Holden Novak and Stephanie Simmons. Are we seriously supposed to just gloss over the fact that this woman lied to her son his entire life about who his real father is? I mean, Malcolm Winters is a Genoa City legend. And Holden is just supposed to be like, oh cool, my mom has been gaslighting me for decades. No biggie. No, I am so glad they are showing Holden actually spiraling over this, because if I found out my mom kept me from the Winters family legacy, I would lose my absolute mind. It's not just a little white lie. It's a fundamental betrayal of his entire identity. He grew up not knowing he belonged to one of the most powerful, respected, and deeply complicated families in town. And let's talk about Vivica A. Fox for a second. I know some people are loving this, but personally, I am just so overwhelmed by how iconic she is in this role. The fact that she just confirmed she extended her contract. Yes, please, because we need Stephanie to stick around and face the music. She can't just drop a nuclear bomb-like surprise. Your dad is Malcolm Winters and then jet back to wherever she came from. She is determined to heal this rift with Holden, but honestly, good luck with that, lady. You kept him from knowing Lily, from knowing Devin, from knowing Nate. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's focus on Holden's emotional state, because the poor guy is a complete wreck right now. But Stephanie thinks she can just smooth things over with a few apologies and some motherly tears. I don't think so. The damage is so deep, and she is going to have to grovel. Because think about what Holden is dealing with. It's not just the lie, it's the brutal rejection. He finds out he's a Winters, and what happens? Devin and Nate treat him like he's a disease. I mean, I love Devin, but he is being so rigid right now, and Nate is just being his usual stubborn, corporate robot self. Holden is reaching out, trying to find his place in this massive legacy family, and he's getting the door slammed in his face. No wonder he is leaning on Claire Newman for advice. Like, of course he is. Claire knows exactly what it's like to be thrust into a legacy family that has more skeletons than a graveyard. Claire is probably the only person in Genoa City who can look at Holden and say, yeah, my family is entirely messed up too. I get it. Okay, back to the point. The secret. The Los Angeles secret. I am literally screaming at my screen because I completely forgot how dark Holden's backstory with Audra Charles actually is. Am I the only one who didn't see this massive twist coming back to haunt them right now? We all know Holden is acting like the wounded puppy who just wants his mommy to be honest, but he is hiding a murder cover-up. Let that sink in. Holden Novak, the sweet guy trying to connect with his dying biological father Malcolm, literally killed a man. I mean, how are we even processing this? It changes everything about how I view his character. It takes him from this innocent victim of his mother's lies to a deeply flawed, dangerous guy. Let's rewind because I need to process this, and I know some of you need a refresher. Remember when Audra Charles was in LA and she stole from that art dealer, Richard? Yeah, Audra has always been a messy, scheming queen, and I kinda love her for it, but she dragged Holden into the absolute worst situation possible. They were at the Shadow Room. Tensions were insanely high. Richard was coming for Audra. He was angry. He was threatening her, and Holden, playing the knight in shining armor, steps up to defend her. He throws a punch. Just one punch, but Richard falls, hits his head on the bar, and dies. He dies. And what do Holden and Audra do? They panic. They don't call the cops. They don't call an ambulance. They cover it up. They covered up a manslaughter. So I'm sorry, but I have to call out the absolute hypocrisy here. Holden is throwing a massive tantrum about Stephanie keeping secrets. Oh, Mom, how could you lie to me? How could you keep me in the dark? Dude, you are hiding a dead body in your closet, like literally covering up the accidental death of an art dealer. How are you going to sit there on your high horse and judge your mother for a paternity secret when you and Audra are out here committing felonies? It makes Holden such a complex, fascinating character, but it also makes me want to shake him through the television screen. You cannot play the victim of dishonesty when you are lying to the police, to your new family, to everyone. And this leads me to what I am most excited about. Vivica teased that Stephanie is going to have some major showdowns with Audra Charles. I am here for IT. I am bringing the popcorn, the soda, the snacks, everything. Because Stephanie Simmons is a fierce, protective mother. She is a doctor. She is respected. She is a powerhouse. When she finds out, and you know she is going to find out, because secrets in Genoa City have a shelf life of about 5 minutes, that Audra Charles dragged her precious son into a murder cover-up. Oh, it is going to be a bloodbath. I can already picture the scene at the GCAC, Stephanie marching up to Audra, pointing a finger in her face, and absolutely destroying her. I mean, Audra won't know what hit her. But wait, this makes me so stressed for Audra. Because right now, Audra is actually showing a really beautiful, vulnerable side. She is currently holding Sally Spectre together after Sally's horrific car crash and miscarriage. Audra is being the ultimate supportive friend, sharing her own trauma about losing a baby with Noah Newman years ago. I am finally starting to see Audra as a human being with a heart. And now this LA secret is going to blow up in her face. I can't. I just can't. The writers are literally building Audra up just to tear her down again. And when Stephanie comes for her, Audra is not going to have any defense. She stole the art. She brought Richard into their orbit. She convinced Holden to cover it up. It is entirely her mess. Because think about how this is going to play out. The police might still be in the dark right now, but Richard's death cannot stay buried forever. Someone is going to start asking questions. Maybe a private investigator, maybe Paul Williams' old contacts, maybe Victor Newman will just stumble upon it because Victor knows everything. And when the cops come knocking, who is going to take the fall? Will Audra throw Holden under the bus to save her own corporate career? Or will Holden confess to save Audra? I mean, their bond is forged in trauma. They are tied together forever because of what happened at the Shadow Room. You don't just walk away from someone who helped you hide a body. They are practically trauma bonded for life. Let's really dig into Holden's psychology for a second. Why did he punch Richard? Was it just to protect Audra? Or was it something deeper? I think Holden has always felt like an outsider. Growing up without knowing his real father, he probably always felt this need to prove himself, to be the hero, to protect the people he cares about because he felt unprotected himself. So when Richard attacked Audra, Holden snapped. And now, that one split-second decision is going to define the rest of his life. It's tragic, honestly. He finally finds his biological family, and he can't even enjoy it because he is constantly looking over his shoulder waiting for the LAPD to show up with handcuffs. And let's look at the bigger picture here. The Winters family is already in shambles. Lily is devastated because her twins aren't a bone marrow match for Malcolm. Kane Ashby is slithering back into town, secretly testing as a match and planning to blackmail Lily for Chancellor Winters. Devin is fighting a massive legal battle against Mariah while rejecting Holden. Imagine the absolute nuclear fallout when the Winters family finds out their shiny new half-brother is involved in a manslaughter cover-up. Devin will completely write him off. Nate will say, "I told you so." Lily will be caught in the middle because she just wants her family whole. It is going to destroy Malcolm if he survives this illness. Malcolm is fighting for his life, and his son might be going to a state penitentiary. But honestly, I keep coming back to Stephanie. Vivica A. Fox saying Stephanie has a bright future makes me wonder if Stephanie is going to cross over to the dark side a little bit to protect her son. Like she lied about his paternity for decades to protect him. What is she going to do to protect him from a prison sentence? Will she use her medical connections to fake an autopsy report? Will she blackmail Audra to leave town? I am telling you, a mother's love is a dangerous thing on the young and the restless. Remember when Nikki confessed to killing JT to protect Victoria? Yeah, Stephanie might just go to extreme lengths for Holden. She is not going to let Audra Charles ruin her son's life without putting up the fight of the century. And can we talk about how toxic this bond between Audra and Holden actually is? They are forever tied together. They share this massive, dark, suffocating secret. Every time they look at each other, they don't just see a friend or an acquaintance. They see the night Richard died, they see the blood, they see the panic. That kind of shared trauma either makes you soulmates or it makes you mortal enemies. Right now, Holden is defending Audra, and Audra is keeping quiet. But what happens when the pressure gets too high? What happens when one of them cracks? I am betting Audra cracks first if her career at Newman or Chancellor Winters is threatened. She is a survivor, and survivors do whatever it takes to stay above water. The ultimate irony in all of this is that Holden is so desperate for the truth from his mother, yet he is living the biggest lie of all. He wants Stephanie to be honest. He wants Malcolm to know him. He wants Devin and Nate to accept him, but none of them actually know him. They don't know the Holden who stood in the shadow room and watched a man die. They don't know the Holden who coldly decided to cover up a crime. It makes me wonder if Malcolm would even want to know this version of his son. It's so twisted and brilliant. The writers are really giving us layers upon layers of deception here. And as much as I complain, I'm eating it up. I know I am rambling, but I am just so emotionally invested in this mess. It's brilliant soap opera storytelling, but it is also so frustrating. I want Holden to just come clean. I want Audra to stop getting dragged into the mud just when she starts showing a soul with Sally. I want Stephanie to slap Audra, but I also want Audra to bite back. We need the drama, honey, just like Vivica said. I am dreading the moment the cops show up, but I am also counting down the seconds until it happens. Am I crazy for wanting this secret to explode immediately? Probably, but that's why we watch, right? We live for the chaos. Bring on the confrontation, bring on the tears, and please, writers, do not let us down with this LA storyline. Keep the twists coming because I am officially obsessed.